Hello everyone! Welcome to the third season of Health Connect. I'm Doc Joyce.
And I'm Doc June.
Among Filipinos, the word atake or attack has been generally used to describe a sudden illness that necessitates bringing a person to the emergency room. In fact, atake has been used interchangeably for both a heart attack and a stroke. Today, we hope to share some basic knowledge about brain attack or stroke in our episode entitled Different Strokes for Different Folks. Doc June, what is a stroke?
Stroke, or as you said, brain attack happens when there is loss of blood supply to a part of the brain. This is an emergency and could cause some serious damage. Now, there are two main types of strokes, ischemic and hemorrhagic. The more common one is ischemic or blocking of the artery. This happens when a plaque or fatty deposit gets dislodged from the walls of the artery and gets into the bloodstream. This slows the flow of blood and causes it to form clots.
Think of the arteries as water pipes and the walls being cemented with plaques from hard water. Over time, some of the plaques get dislodged and get carried into the water line. As the saying goes, however, blood is thicker than water. So, in the case of the arteries, because blood is viscous or thick and it has to pass slowly through a vessel that has been narrowed by a plaque that blocks the pathway, blood cells clump together and form miniature clots. As more of these clots form, the artery gets blocked and blood is not able to flow.
Now we hear other big words like thrombi, emboli. What are these? These are both blood clots that cause the two main types of ischemic stroke, thrombotic stroke and embolic stroke. A thrombotic stroke happens when a blood clot happens in an artery that supplies blood to the brain. It is local to the area in the brain itself. An embolic stroke, on the other hand, happens when a blood clot happens somewhere in the body, travels in the bloodstream, reaches the brain, and blocks an artery that supplies blood to the brain. It is a migrant blood clot. When we come back, we will discuss the signs and symptoms of an ischemic stroke.
In ischemic stroke, this loss of blood supply to the brain due to a blocked artery can cause cellular damages which could lead to irreversible cell death if not managed promptly. This is because brain cells or neurons are high-functioning cells that are more sensitive to oxygen deprivation than any other cells in the body. And as we know, blood carries oxygen. With a blocked artery and blood supply, there's no oxygen supply.
Therefore, it is important to get medical help immediately to avoid serious and potentially irreversible damage if you have any of the following warning signs of a possible ischemic stroke: sudden numbness or weakness of the face, arm or leg, often on one side of the body, confusion, problems speaking or understanding others, dizziness, loss of balance or coordination, trouble walking, vision loss or double vision.
Why do we say sudden numbness or weakness often on one side of the body? This is because areas of the brain govern different parts of the body. For example, the left hemisphere generally controls the right side of the body. The location of major language functions is also in the left hemisphere. So, if there's a pattern of sudden numbness or weakness on the right side, coupled with problems speaking or understanding others, which is a language function, then that could mean an ischemic stroke on the left hemisphere of the brain.
You are more likely to have ischemic stroke if you are over the age 60, has concurrent disorders such as hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease, as well as other conditions such as high cholesterol and irregular heartbeat. The chance to have a stroke also increases if you smoke or have a family history of strokes.
Then there's such a thing as a mini stroke called transient ischemic attack or TIA. The symptoms are similar to an ischemic stroke, but because it is transient, they only last from a few minutes to less than 24 hours. TIAs can happen when the blood vessel in the brain becomes narrow or when there's a clot. A TIA can sometimes be a warning sign that you'll have an ischemic stroke soon.
Next episode, we will discuss hemorrhagic type of stroke. Thank you for watching and let's connect!